Every hacker looks for the same thing first. Not brilliance, not money, not even technology. They look for weakness. As a cybersecurity professional, I see this every day. As a father, I take it personal. I don't see the internet as a neutral ground. I see it kind of like a neighborhood at night. Some houses are lit, well equipped with alarm systems, doors are locked, cameras rolling. Others, garage doors open, car doors unlocked, blinds cracked. You can see everything that's inside. And here's the truth most families miss. The same red flags hackers exploit online are typically the same blind spots we overlook in reality. Scripture warns us in 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. Be sober-minded, be watchful. Your adversaries prowl around like a roaring lion. That lion just doesn't attack faith. It attacks your attention, lack thereof attention, lack of discipline, and preparation. Welcome back to another episode of the Guardian Protocol. I'm your host, Kendall, and today we're talking about red flags in your digital life, what a hacker would exploit, and how far does lead families with wisdom, boundaries, and protection. Red flag number 1, weak and reused passwords. Let me say this plainly. Most accounts aren't really hacked, they're logged into. When you reuse passwords, one breach doesn't stay small, it spreads. It spreads to your emails, banking account information, social media accounts, family photos, and a school portal. That's not just a cyber problem, that's a boundary problem. Proverbs chapter 25, verse 28 tells us, a man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls. Passwords are walls. Weak ones mean the gates are open and no one's standing for watch. Here's my perspective. I don't use the same key for my door as I do for my car and vice versa. So why would you reuse passwords for what protects your family, identity, finances, and your future? So what does protection actually look like? First, use a password manager. This gives you one master key and a unique lockdown password everywhere else. Second, build long passphrases, 14 to 16 characters, not short passwords. Length beats complexity. A sentence you remember is stronger than symbols you reuse. Third, turn multi-factor authentication on. Even if a password is stolen, there's still another locked door to get through. Finally, make this a teaching moment. Explain why boundaries matter, not just what rules exist. Wise men teach this early on. Boundaries aren't restrictions, they're protection. Red flag number 2, oversharing online. Hackers don't always steal data. Sometimes they just wait patiently and collect it. For example, birthdays, school, pet names, locations. Hold on, let me pause for a second. When it comes to location, ladies, stop uploading your videos and photos while on vacation, please. Fellas do the same thing as well. The reason why I say this is because a lot of people tend to stick out like a sore thumb, obviously, when you're in remote places. And obviously, we know what's going on in current events. Don't want anybody to become a victim of that. Let's continue. That's not just social media, that's reconnaissance. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 3 states, whoever guards his mouth preserves his life. That's a mouthful right there for you. Today, guarding your mouth also means guarding your posts. Here's my perspective again. I tell my kids this sometimes. Everyone doesn't need access to your life. Be mindful of what you post online. Honestly, it took me a while to pull the trigger on starting this podcast because I tend to live a pretty private life for the most part. Back in my heyday, I used to post a lot, but until I got into the career field, I'm very mindful about what I post about my family. My family life these days, unless you're close to me, you probably won't know much about us, but if you are, you most likely will get photos, updates, phone calls. But other than that, not too much. Privacy isn't secrecy, it's wisdom. Here's some more solutions. Lock down your privacy settings by default. If someone isn't trusted in real life, they don't need digital access to you. Avoid real-time location sharing. I know I'm beating a dead horse, but I'm serious about that. Patterns are most dangerous than single posts. Teach kids the difference between sharing moments and exposing routines, and model restraints yourself as well. Children learn more from what we don't post than what we do. Not everything sacred should be searchable. Red flag number 3, ignoring updates. Hackers love outdated systems. Updates aren't annoyed. Just get them done. They repair broken gates. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 18 says, through laziness, the roof sinks in. Most breaches don't happen because attackers are brilliant. They happen because defenders don't just get comfortable. Here's my perspective again. If a locked door is loose, here's my perspective. If a lock is loose with a screw wiggling or the door jiggling, I don't just wait around. I grab a screwdriver, a drill, and fix it. Here's some more solutions. Turn on automatic updates everywhere, whether it be your phone, your laptop, your routers, your TV. Also remove apps and software you don't use. Less clutter means fewer entry points. Replace devices that no longer receive updates. Unsupported devices are unlocked doors that you don't need to have. Protection is daily discipline, not a one-time decision. It's a lifestyle. Red flag number 4, trust every message. Phishing doesn't rely on intelligence. It relies on emotion. Emotional fear, urgency, and authority. Same attack, different mask. John chapter 10, verse 10 says, "The thief comes only to steal and destroy." How many times have you heard that throughout your life? In my home, we pause before we click. My kids, they typically run to me when something seems off because urgency is often the enemy of wisdom. Just make sure you verify messages using the second channel. Don't trust what pressures you. Teach kids this rule. If it rushes you, question it. Wisdom often sounds like silence before action. Steadfast. Red flag number 5, no backups. Ransomware doesn't care who you are. It cares what you value. We value our photos, memories, and documents. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 20 reminds us the wise stores up. Solution. Follow the 3-2-1 rule. Multiple copies, multiple locations, and test your backups. A backup doesn't work, it isn't protection. So make sure those backups that you store work. Preparedness is love with foresight. Red flag number 6, no family digital rules. Hackers love chaos. Joshua chapter 24, verse 15. As for me and my house, devices don't raise children. Algorithms don't teach values, and screens don't replace parents. You got to be active and present. Set clear family digital rules. Not secret monitoring, but open expectations. Keep devices out of the bedroom at night for sure. Rest is protection too. A strong father doesn't protect devices, he trains discernment. In closing, the Digital Watchman. The Watchman stands on the wall, not in fear, but in readiness. Hackers exploit ignorance, hate grows through wisdom, family thrives under leadership. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6 says, "Train up a child in the way he should go." That includes the digital world. This concludes today's episode. If you enjoy the content, follow the Guardian Protocol podcast on Riverside, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And always, stay alert, stay faithful, protect your home, physically and digitally.